Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about Peter Navarro, Mr. Green Bay Sweep, and his order to report to prison, which actually illustrates a broader situation that's going to come into play with future defendants, including one Donald Trump. So remember this guy, he was sort of a kibitzer in a whole nother department, but he concocted this plan that he boastingly referred to as the Green Bay Sweep, which, this is referring to the 1967 Vince Lombardi, Paul Hornig Packers. Don't worry if that's all ancient history to you, but they had a indomitable off-tackle running game, and in a similar way to Peter Navarro, he would take these 6 states who were in their views, possibly, they weren't up in the air, but they could have provided the election to Trump if they've gone another way. And one after the other caused trouble of a certain sort, but the idea was to delay things past a certain point on January 6th itself till it was too late, and the actual 12th Amendment process that Mike Pence participates in by opening the envelope, doesn't do more than that, we know that well, would go too long. So that's the Green Bay Sweep. He would one after the other, and he was ordered to testify to the January 6th committee. Now remember, they were batting, I think, 2-2 at this point. There was Bannon, who was referred by the committee and prosecuted and convicted, and Navarro, same thing. But Meadows was not, and the difference is, I think, for the Department of Justice, he maybe has some colorable claim based on his position. He could have thought, not accurately, this just goes to whether or not, in the department's view, it's proper and fair and overall in keeping with their general practices to prosecute him. Navarro has, like Bannon, no leg to stand on. What he tried to say was that he had some vague command from Donald Trump to assert executive privilege, but he had nothing. There was some public statement. He didn't really even have enough to offer it at trial. It was something between a fantasy and a concoction. So he had really no defense, and he was swiftly convicted. And now we get to today's news, which is he's been ordered to report to prison in 8 days in federal prison in Miami. And this illustrates an important principle about when defendants go to prison. His appeal is still pending. So you ask the district court, the district court has broad discretion to say, look, I think you should go to prison, but I see a judgment call. I see something that, maybe you could press on appeal. It would be a shame, and that's an understatement, if you go to jail and then it turns out you're jailed unjustly because there was some mistake that gets you a new trial or the like. So district courts are pretty lenient about calling any sort of close call in favor of permitting a defendant to stay at large while she or he litigates their appeal. And that's going to come up with Trump, if and when, of course, this is all, do the trials go forward, and setting to the side the great delay strategy. But, I've suggested this before, that even if it's an open and shut case against him, no district court judge would order him to jail while his appeals were pending. And therefore, for those people who are, doing the overall calculation, would he actually be incarcerated? That's something to think about. Appeals, in his case, could easily run 1.5 years or 2. And while a district court could, were he convicted, put him in jail while that process runs, I think no federal judge would do that. And I find it unlikely that it would happen in Fulton County. New York, it's actually a question whether he could be subject to a couple month sentence, and Judge Merchant seems like a pretty tough customer. But anyway, that is the notion. So Navarro does, of course, let me stay out while on appeal, and the judge there says, no, you got nothing here. You're going to jail. You need to report on March 19th. So report he will. And, we keep this in mind for people going forward, and not just Trump, but other folks. I'm thinking right now of Ken Chesbro, just because the recent events have shown him to be so guilty. But the principle is, if you really don't have anything of merit that the district court judge thinks might give you a shot at appeal, you go in and you're incarcerated while your appeal is pending. And that's the situation for Mr. Green Bay Sweep. He's got a 4-month sentence, so he won't do that much time. Probably his appeal will still be going on when he's out. So, in a sense, he serves the sentence either way. But that's fair under the system, because he's really just, exercises constitutional rights, but with no real basis to think he's got any prospects for changing the bottom line. Talk to you later. Hi, everyone. Harry here with a really exciting announcement. Talking Feds is bringing our lively discussions with prominent national figures live to San Diego. Talking San Diego is a new series of conversations with some of the country's most interesting and bright minds from the worlds of politics, public policy, law, and more. Our first event is just around the corner. Join me for a conversation with Congressman Jamie Raskin on Monday, March 18th at 2 o'clock in downtown San Diego. You can click the description box below for more information on the event and the series, and find out how to purchase tickets, which are going fast. I can't wait to have some of our most well-known friends of the podcast join me in person before a live audience. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.